Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. Wow, what an interesting fight. You know, Matchroom Boxing have been playing a dangerous game with Frank Warren because they're slightly losing a lot to the Queensberry. And this is a great gamble for Frank Warren, throwing the young tiger, Daniel Dubois, who gave Usyk a better fight than probably just as good as Fury and just as good as Joshua. Wow, I can't, right now, I'm really undecided on who I think is going to win this fight. I may have to wait until the week before just to get a full inkling on it. Because 2 years ago, I actually would have said Dubois, even though he had less experience, because he was just so, he was less timid, he just threw his hands more. But then he came up short against Joe Joyce, of all people. And then against Usyk, he looked pretty good, dropping him, and Usyk moves about. So this is all about who's got the haymaker, guys. Like, who's got that one-punch power? Who's got that leveler? Both have on any given night. I think Dubois can catch you cold. Joshua tends to fare up against guys his own size. So I've said this numerous times. He fares well against guys who stand at the same height as him. Joshua's biggest problem has been with Usyk and Andy Ruiz, who are smaller guys, and Povetkin caused him a few problems. White caused him problems. Shorter guys, low centre of gravity, they can do those little uppercuts and haymakers. The inside work. Daniel Dubois stands at similar stature. And on this, I might have to stick with Joshua. Daniel Dubois will be fresher, but I think the experience on this and the jab setup, and even though Joshua doesn't have head movement, I just think he's been there in the big fights more, and that ring IQ, even though Joshua's never been like a penultimate boxer, as boxers boxer like Usyk, I just edge him over Dubois for whatever reason. Dubois has the power, the energy, but I don't think he's as smart as even Joshua. That's how I'm calling it right now. I think Joshua is on this trailblazing resurgence in his career where he's just taking on everyone. And when Joshua does cut you clean and you want to get into a scrap with Joshua, then you're in trouble. And although Dubois will damage him at times, I see only one winner in this. The street thug. Who's got the street in him? I think Joshua. I think he's going to tame this young, hungry, aggressive fighter. And I think the press conference and the whole setup to that talks to it. I think that sets it up where Dubois was like, "What you talk about, Willis?" You know, Dubois was, "You don't talk to me like that." It sort of reminds me of Frank Bruno when it's Lewis vibes, where you got the young cat, the strong bulldog coming up. And even though Joshua's nowhere near as good as Lennox Lewis, I feel he's got the old experience and head game. And listen, son, I think he's gonna euthanize. I say this one a lot. Euthanize Dubois. Dubois could be in for a whole world of hurt because he's gonna come good. He's going to look sharp. He's going to cause problems for Joshua. But that's what Joshua likes, a fight. A fight. And this is perfect for Joshua because he's going to get someone just as big, just as strong, hits just as hard, who is younger. But that will favour Joshua in the heavyweight rounds. I'm going Anthony Joshua because it's easy for everyone to say Dubois right now. Let's not forget, man's lost to Joe Joyce. Oh, that was a few years ago and he's bounced back. Joshua's lost to Usyk and Andy Ruiz. But let's not forget, Andy Ruiz had only lost to Joseph Parker. Always go back to the trajectory and do the math before you say they've lost to a bum. Andy Ruiz was no bum when he fought Joshua. He'd lost only to Joseph Parker. He was a very, very dangerous fighter to take with an, obviously, unassuming agenda. No one knew the intentions he had for Joshua because he was like, I'm just glad to be here, get my Happy Meal, y'all. Good though. Anyway, guys, I've had some fun with this. I think that Joshua, for me, takes this fight. I've just got this feeling that the experience is going to tell. And in a bad way. Somebody's getting whooped, and it could be Joshua. It could well be. It could be the age. But Joshua's still in physical shape, man. He's a physical specimen. His timing's not gone. He's still got more of a variety of punches to throw. He's still got a jab set up. And I just think he's going to fatherify Dubois in this fight. A bit of Biop, a bit of Bernard Hopkins, a bit of executioner mixed with Biop, a bit of Zavy, a bit of street smarts. You want to take it to the streets? Joshua can do that. Joshua's not the best boxer, but he still has good fundamentals to hang with someone like Dubois, who's not electric. He's got power. I'm going with Anthony Joshua on a points decision, or maybe a knockout later on in 10. I just think the experience in this one will count. Doesn't always. Sometimes the experience doesn't count. Sometimes it goes for the young fighter, like I'm saying with Smith and Kelly. I'm going with the youth on that. On this one, I'm going with the experience based on the styles of the fighters and the mental and all that. I think Joshua will have grown from the Usyk fight. It's not every day you fight the best fighter on the planet, or one of. Now, you're fighting someone who pretty much fights, and that's dinner for Joshua. That's cash. That's meat. You know, that's gravy for Anthony Joshua. Someone who's going to come and try and take his head off. If Dubois can box smart, all fair play to him. I don't think he will be able to resist the push forward. And he's going to get caught. That's a terrible uppercut. I don't box, you know that. Joshua, experience. Tell me what you think. I think Anthony Joshua stops and beats Daniel Dubois, or he takes it to points. I can't say which yet, but if I had to choose, I would say he's actually going to catch Daniel Dubois in 10. Peace. Give me your opinion. Bye.